We are so excited. We have decided to put together a golf tournament.
Yes.
And this golf tournament, every single piece of the profit is going to go for scholarships to trade schools.
Yes.
And we're working with Collin, Tarrant, some state schools, all trade schools. Yep. And we're really excited about it because
girls and boys,
like just anybody who is, we're really trying to push trade schools. We are short 375,000 jobs in the state of Texas in residential only.
Yes.
That's how many jobs are out there in residential.
Right.
And our electricians are retiring, our plumbers are retiring, and those are apprenticeship positions. And so we really need to we're short trades.
Yeah.
And so to encourage that, we are doing a fundraiser, basically a fundraising golf tournament. And we are going to, it's going to be November 10th.
November 10th at Riverchase Golf Course.
From 10 to 6.
Yes, from 10 to 6. So Riverchase is kind of central in DFW. So hopefully it's easy for everyone to get to. So we're going to have builders, vendors. We're going to do...
We have commercial. We have residential.
Yes. We are doing like all the things the golf tournaments do. Like prizes, mulligans.
We have dinner, lunch,
Longest from the tee.
Yes.
All the things.
And you can find all the information on BuildHERSClub.com.
Yes.
And go to our event page.
Yes.
If you have any questions, you can email hello@monarchmediahub.com. But we're looking for partners. We're looking for players. And we're really excited about it. It's for charity, y'all. Like, it is one of the biggest needs that we have in our industry.
For sure.
Is in advancing trades.
Yes. And this is a dream for me. So I am so fired up. I have always wanted to host a golf tournament, and what a better way to do that than for every single penny to go towards students for scholarships and trades.
Welcome to the BuildHERS Club Podcast. We're here to bring you real conversations and fresh insights from a woman's perspective in the construction industry.
Each episode will sit down with incredible guests, female builders, designers, business owners, and industry leaders to talk about the challenges, successes, and experiences that shape our careers.
Whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting out or simply curious about the industry, this is your space to learn, be inspired, and connect with a community of strong, trailblazing women.
Welcome back to the BuildHERS Club Podcast, where women in construction and business come together to share stories of grit, growth, and resilience.
I'm your co-host, Xanica. Thank you so much, all you listeners out there and watchers, and thank you for all your support and encouragement. It's been amazing, and just really wanted to say thank you.
We have the fabulous Phyllis Werner here.
Again,
yes. And we're going to kind of go, one of the things our builders have really been asking us to do is kind of work with the Building Talent Foundation. Mm-hmm. Phyllis will go into a little bit more about what it is, but it was started by a bunch of builders. And again, we'll go into more details, but we really want to talk about how big trades and what they mean to us and our economy, and how short we are out there, specifically with plumbers and electricians, and what her foundation is doing to help that and why it's such a big deal. So we're going to talk about that today and kind of go into some details.
Thank you so much for being here.
Absolutely.
So appreciate it. Spreading the word.
Tell us a little bit about you, kind of like what day-to-day work, what you do, and a little bit about the foundation. So kind of refresh people's memory.
Okay, well, Building Talent Foundation is a national nonprofit. As you stated, we were founded and funded by the leading builders of America. There's 22 of them now.
What are some of them?
The bigger, the 22 big ones, I can't name them all off the top of my head, but I've got, Lennar, D.R. Horton, K. Hovnanian, TriPoint, Meritage, all of those.
The big builders,
the big
out
ones,
there.
yeah.
And they're all in Dallas.
Yes, they are. And they realized that there is a huge shortage in the trades. They're saying that approximately 40% of the trade people, so you're saying tradesmen, the trade people are going to be retiring by, say, 2031. And we only have about 2% of that entering the field now. So they were trying to figure out a way to, how do we bridge that gap?
Okay, let's math that. So 2% are entering and 40% are leaving, which means 38% gap.
Yes.
And do we know that, I know they said that the average age of an electrician and a plumber is like 55.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And those are the ones that have to have an apprenticeship to learn.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's one of the bigger things is, say, plumbers, electricians, even some of the HVAC trades, they require apprenticeships, or you can get, for HVAC, you can get a technician's license, but you're not a contractor for 5 years, and then you have to pass a test, right? Just like with plumbers and electricians, it's a 5-year apprenticeship program.
Right.
So we're kind of running out of time.
Yeah, 38%.
It's really important.
Yes.
It's a big deal.
That's a big gap.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I want people to really understand kind of the dire straits we're in right now,
Yeah.
because I don't know about y'all, but if I don't have a plumber to call, come fix my toilet.
Yeah.
Yeah, Thanksgiving dinner and suddenly your sink doesn't drain.
Yes.
Yeah, not a pretty picture.
Not a pretty picture.
Or let's talk about like building homes and our industry and the jobs that all of that supplies, and like there's a bigger picture, right? And
Builders
DFW
are going to be hurting.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, there's going to be so many people out of like work. Like it's going to be a big
Because we can't finish a house if you don't have a plumber and an electrician.
Right, exactly.
Exactly. And it's doing that with kind of all the trades. On the blueprint study that I had shared with you guys,
Yes.
one of the bigger things is that even though the interest rates are going up, they're kind of starting to come back down, but you know how they fluctuate. There's still a huge need for affordable housing. And if you can't finish the houses on time because you don't have the trades that you need to stay on schedule, then it incurs more cost for not just the builders, but also for the contractors, right?
Yeah.
Right.
You promised you could get it done at this amount of time and you can't do it. So then there's a penalty.
Exactly.
So it's a huge deal.
It is. It's a very big deal. And can you please tell us when did Building Talent Foundation, when did it start? Like what year?
We're about 6 years old, I believe. So it was kind of, if you try to equate it with things that people understand, it was kind of COVID-ish.
Okay.
Right? When everybody started to retire, they took early buyouts, things like that. That's when we realized, even in my previous life, we realized, oh my goodness, we didn't really think about how many people in your workforce are in their 40s, 50s, even 60s, that now they had the opportunity to take an early retirement buyout, and now you're stuck.
Right. And the reason I ask is because here we are 6 years in, and we are still trying to educate. We're still trying to bring awareness. We're trying to get trades to these job fairs that I'm attending. We're trying really hard to like ask people to come participate. So yeah, I mean, that's why we asked you to come back and kind of like do, more deep dive.
And this is really builder specific too, because our builders, our volume builders, which are your bigger builders across America, they're having issues with trades, and they know, they can see, and they are the ones that provide affordable housing, right?
Yeah.
They're not your custom builders where, so-and-so has millions of dollars. These are your affordable housing builders. And so this is a really big deal to them.
Yeah. And there are plenty of regional players in DFW that build production style homes that are not the high end custom.
Correct.
So I'm grateful for those 22 builders who started this program.
Absolutely. For example, Lennar is one of our bigger partners, and they take some of our students on job site visits to actually see what it's like out in the field. We just did one with Dallas College and the Lennar Foundation just 2 weeks ago at it's a smaller community in the south side of like Dallas, off of 45 down in there. And those aren't $1 million homes.
No.
Right.
Those are like $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 homes.
Yeah.
Those are what
Affordable.
is now considered affordable housing.
Right.
And
Which is
without those,
insane.
I know.
without those trades, those houses aren't built.
Well, so we're talking about builders. I don't even think trades know this is available. So I didn't know until we had you come on that this was even something that we could do.
Well, let's
as
talk
a trade.
Yes. And let's talk about the fact that when you came to a builder and did a full class on what you're about and how to participate, and one of the company's trades that was already registered with your foundation asked again, what does it cost? So even though they had signed up, they still didn't understand that it was free. So it is education. Like,
Yes.
like we've got to like
Yes.
figure out a way to make sure everyone knows it's no charge for the person trying to find a job.
Well, we
It's
can
no
speak from
charge for the
experience.
builder. It's
You
no
hired
charge.
somebody from hers.
Yes, I did. Yes, we
and
did.
no charge.
Yeah.
It costs nothing to put. Basically, I sent over, and I did the same thing.
Yeah.
I sent over the job description, what I was looking for, and you handled it from there.
Yeah, you
Exactly.
did. You did everything. You screened. You
Yes. And
Yes.
sent us the qualified,
do
Exactly.
pre-interviews.
That's one of the bigger parts of what we're doing, other than education in general, is that we actually offer a no charge job board that is construction and builder specific. So instead of paying for it Indeed or a ZipRecruiter
Right.
or even using LinkedIn where you get 300 applications that have nothing to do with what you're actually looking for, the people that we sign up are trade specific. So I go into the trade schools. I go into some of the Career Institute high schools. I go to Goodwill job fairs, Workforce Solutions job fairs, veterans job fairs, and get people who actually want to work in construction. And one thing to note is that construction's not just what people think, right? Yes, plumbers, electrical, HVAC, great. But I have concrete. I have framers. I have cabinetry makers. I have countertops. I have building supply stores. All of that is included. Everything that we work with is anything and everything it takes to build or maintain a home.
is on that job board.
Exactly. So
Which is a lot.
That's a lot of different categories because I know, for example, your company has customer service people.
Yeah.
They have schedulers. They have
Estimators.
startup technicians. They have anything and everything. So it's not just, I need to be on the roof.
And what is
There's
the
so much more
average
to it.
age group of the people that you're placing?
I work with anything and everything. I have one of the ones that you hired as an apprentice was fresh out of high school. So he had just turned 18. They had to wait till he turned 18 before they could hire him. And then I also have some that are retired military, right? So they've already done their 20 years. Or they were behind a desk for 15 years and decided they didn't want to be a cubicle zoo rat. So they decided they want to change trades and they're in their 40s.
That's awesome. So you'll have anywhere from 18 to
18 to 40 and 50.
now, kind of the market's taking a little bit of downturn in some construction. Are you seeing more and more people applying that are in an office position or that have been in an office?
It's a little bit of both. I have a lot of people who are trying that they want to be in construction. They don't want to be in what they call boring corporate America, right? But they don't swing a hammer. They are warranty people. They are customer service people. They are problem solvers. They are IT people who want to work for a large builder. So it's a little bit of everything. We specialize in the trades, but I do also assist with other groups.
Okay. So if a builder is looking for something even specific, somebody's scheduling or man in the phones or,
Exactly.
you would
Or a
help
project
builder as
manager.
well. Project manager. Okay.
We have a whole veterans team that works with all the different organizations, the GI foundations, the actual Veterans Association.
Y'all work with Operation Finally Home?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet, but we're
Okay.
getting there.
Okay. I know who to hook you up for that one.
Okay. But
For
a
sure.
lot of the veterans have a little bit more experience, right? So they're looking for something more project management or site managers, things like that. And then we have an entire department that deals directly with filling builder positions.
Interesting.
Because you're on both. Like,
So it isn't just trade, it's also builders.
Right.
And y'all, it's free, literally.
yeah.
Free.
Okay, so
You just have to
we're going to say this
participate.
several times throughout the podcast, but what is the website so everybody knows?
Okay, to learn more about Building Talent Foundation in general, it's just buildingtf.org. The job board, which you do not actually have to create an account if you just want to go play around on it, is jobs build.com.
And we're going to put this down below too, so everybody can kind of see and put the links in there.
And one nice thing about that is we also specialize in helping younger people with career exploration, right? So if you go on the website, there's actually a career exploration page where you can look at, okay, if I chose to be an electrician, what schools teach it? How much do they make on average according to the Department of Labor? How long does it take? What do I need to do? Where do I go? What kind of jobs are out there for an electrician? And so you can actually explore all the different trades on the website, even if you don't know what you want to do yet.
Which is huge. Just to even have
I wish high schools had something like this where these kids could actually see.
So
that
I
there
am
was
working
alternative.
with some of the local high schools.
You are? Okay,
to try to start bringing that into it. I'm also working with the Girls Inc.
Okay.
to
That's
try to help
awesome.
them.
That's awesome.
That's
So,
great.
there's women in construction, right?
Yes.
But there is places that we can go. There are ways for us to join. It is important for people to realize that we're a huge portion of the population.
Right.
Yes. We're just a very small portion of the construction industry.
Correct.
For
So-
now.
That's
We're
right.
just kidding.
For now.
Taking over the world.
It's better than it used to be.
Yes,
When I
it
started working with the
is.
trades 12 years ago, I was the only female in the building.
Yep. I hear you.
So it's
Know how that
gotten
is.
much better than it
Yes.
used to be.
What year was that?
Long time ago.
Okay.
To 12.
No, I've been doing it 12 years
Yeah.
ago.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, 2010. I didn't see a woman on the job site for a long time. I remember Mia was the very first woman I ever saw on a job site. She was a project manager. Tom Greco was one of the first, I think, progressive. Yep. One of the first progressive builders that was willing to take a chance.
Yeah, I got so excited when our first female welding student enrolled. It was insane how excited we were. And then we started to see more and more on the HVAC side, and some in we have actually a pretty good group in in the electrical program now at
That's
both
awesome.
schools.
I went into my manufacturing facility this past week and probably saw 15 women in that facility.
Yeah.
And he's like, the women are doing amazing.
Yeah.
Like, it's so awesome to see, we can't lift the 300-pound stuff. And there's certain things that we're not going to do. And we're just, our brains don't work that way. And physically, right?
Yeah.
Totally fine. We're not out there to take everybody's job either. What's great is there is opportunities for women within this field that they can
sure.
do. And it was so great to see it on a manufacturing side as well.
Yeah.
Not just out in the
Absolutely.
field.
Yep.
And so there are a lot of opportunities. Women don't have to be nurses and teachers and have that
No.
traditional, career. They can
Right.
do other different things within the construction. So
Right. And if we're talking about beefing up labor, yes, absolutely men, can join, but like, why not include women as well?
right.
So,
right.
like,
And
yeah.
that's kind of our goal, is to kind of,
Yeah.
start really including and telling women that there is jobs out there for them as well.
Yeah.
There is,
And this is a great industry. There's
I love it.
I love it. There's so many amazing people and it's so fun. And when you're being part of building someone's dreams and where they're going to make their memories and build their family, like there's something very, very cool about that.
Let's talk about the blueprint study, because you had
Okay.
sent it to us and it was 81
Yes.
pages long. And I kind of went through it a little bit
Yes,
just to
it's
get an
huge.
idea. But I'm going to have you kind of highlight that.
Okay, so what it is research. Hold on 1 second. I was a horrible guest and thought my phone was on vibrate and forgot that it didn't.
You're
go
good.
off.
You're intentional. And I know you're that.
That's
you're
all right.
good.
Mine was ringing off the hook earlier. So
That, you
we still
think
have
you-
lives. So
Yeah.
we still gotta,
I know work
Exactly.
is like blowing up as we're
Yeah.
like, la, la, la.
Yeah.
Right.
It is.
Yeah.
No, the blueprint study was several years worth of research that was done on where the industry is kind of going now. Where is it headed? I actually wrote down a couple of points just because I'm not as young as I used to be, and my memory's a little bit of Swiss cheese. So pardon me, I had to write a few things down. But the talent shortages still remain a huge issue. And the talent that we have coming out, they need to be flexible, right? Because they are starting to do some technical, integration and things like that.
When you say talent coming out, those are the students coming out of schools.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That we're having job fairs for.
Yes.
That we're attending. Yes.
Okay.
They need to be flexible, because I'm sure when we all started this, job orders and scheduling and bill of ladings and parts and pieces weren't done on a tablet, right?
Right.
It was a piece of paper, and you hope it didn't get wet and ruin it so you couldn't read it.
Right.
But there's more and more software coming out to help with the project management, the scheduling, the maintaining of inventory, things like that. Because as you know, a lot of the mechanical companies that we work with have huge warehouses too.
Yep.
So they have to be flexible. They have to be willing to do and learn multiple things.
That's right. Well, and not
yeah.
just that, but
Yeah.
Go ahead.
If you sign up for a job that there's going to be driving expected or lifting expected, you can't walk in and say, "Oh, I'm not driving
right.
here, there, and everywhere.
Mhm.
I'm not putting my body through that." Like
Yeah.
that's what the job description was.
And I think this group too that is coming out, they've never had conflict resolution. They've never had anything not handed to them, right?
Some of them.
Yes.
Yeah, I think there's a little bit of a mix, but
Yes, you're right.
No, you're right.
Well-
The younger folks, absolutely, but there are some that are a little bit older.
They're a little bit older.
And seasoned.
Some of our veterans, some of our
Yeah,
people who have decided to change careers, things like that. But
I'm talking to babies.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
I
what I'm
love
talking
yeah.
to pick on the babies. I really do. And I need to stop doing that because I do it a lot. But if we think about it, their high school was virtual, right?
Mhm.
Yeah,
They didn't have conflict resolution.
Nope.
They went to high school virtually throughout all of COVID.
right.
So another one of the things that Blueprint study discovered was that customer service and basic manners and interpersonal skills are very important on a job site. A lot of people think, when they think job sites and builders and construction, they think, big, mean, ornery, foul-mouthed, whatever it is, right? Well, that's not what it really is out there. We've all been on those job sites. That's not what it is.
Right.
So if you don't know how to talk to people or send an email, emails are not Insta. So it doesn't count. They need to be real words, things like that. They have to be flexible. They have to be dependable. They have to be on time. They have to know that their appearance, when they're wearing your company shirt, everybody knows who they work for and they're representing your company.
Absolutely.
So the more they get out there and they start saying or doing things that you wouldn't want to represent your company,
Right.
they don't understand why they're getting in trouble for this stuff. And it's more of a lack of training. I don't think it's a lack of wanting to understand. I think it's more of a lack of training.
So how do you train that? Because that's life skills.
It is life skills. I know a lot of the trade schools that I work with have departments that teach customer service skills. A lot of people that I'm working with will send, especially in the mechanical trades where they have to be in people's homes even before they're built, they send them to customer service classes, things like that.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Because it's not something that they can't learn. It's just something that they haven't been taught because they didn't deal with a lot of people.
Right.
Right.
They did
Yeah.
everything online.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
So the soft skills are really crazy important right now.
Well, that's one of the things, we have a mentorship program that we work with Collin College, and I'm really happy to tell you that Lincoln Tech is going to start working with us as well.
Awesome.
So excited about
Yes.
that. Just found that out today.
Yes. Super excited.
And that's on the Fort Worth side. So now we have a school on both sides that we can work with. But you're going to be coming in. We're doing a class for our mentees that we have, and one of it is going to be teaching soft skills and how to present yourself. And then we're going to do interviews, and I have builders that are going to come in and do mock interviews with them, and then do a class on social media, because I don't think a lot of the kids understand how social media impacts their.
They really don't.
No.
I had a wonderful candidate, great guy, really smart, dedicated. He hadn't even looked at his social media in like 3 years because he was like, I don't need to be all involved in that. I'm not going to be part of that. Well, what he didn't realize was that the profile picture that was on there from 3 years ago did not represent him in a wonderful way.
Oh, no.
So, I had an employer who first thing they do is they look him up.
Yeah.
And if you're not paying attention to that kind of stuff, it can catch you off guard in no time.
Yep.
Which is so interesting to me because that's like, I don't want to say that's the first thing I think about, but like I think about those things. Like,
But we have years in the industry,
Yeah,
too,
that's
right?
true.
These
That's a good
kids
point.
grew
Yeah.
up on social media
Yeah.
where anything and everything can be said on it.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
You
and
know?
they don't think a lot of them realize that what's on the internet's forever.
Yeah.
It doesn't go away.
It doesn't.
So we grew up in a time, I'm a little bit older. So I grew up in a time where you just didn't talk about that stuff. Not that any of us had perfect lives.
We didn't have cell phones. Nobody was snapping shots of us.
We did all of our stuff when we were young and dumb, and there were no camera phones.
That's right.
Thank goodness.
Not that we didn't do dumb stuff.
Because I don't know if I'd be
Let's
here
not-
today
Oh,
if
no joke.
anybody got some of my pictures.
Right.
No joke. Right?
Yeah.
So it's just an awareness thing. We need to teach them awareness.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is. I don't think that they're aware of that at all. And that was one of the things we really kind of wanted to bring up with that group. So I'm really thankful you're coming in with that. So what else did the blueprint study say? That was like a point.
That be flexible.
Mhm.
You can't be afraid of technology because it's not going away. Now, are they replacing roofers and framers and HVAC and plumbers with AI? No. But a lot of the tools that they use to make their jobs better, easier, faster are going to be AI type tools.
Mm-hmm.
For example, if you're working on an HVAC unit and you don't know what you're doing, half of them you can scan a QR code that's on the side of the unit and it'll give you a manual on your tablet, right?
Mm-hmm.
If people don't understand how to do stuff like that, then they're going to be passed over.
Do you think though that the younger kids that are coming out, they're very tech savvy? They're not tech savvy, really.
Mm. They're social media savvy,
Oh, but not tech savvy.
but not tech savvy.
My
There's a difference.
gosh, my kid can figure out her phone and every
It's
single
her phone.
thing.
What, can she do it on a laptop? Can she do it on a computer? Does she know how to run Word or Excel or anything like that? No, they can work miracles on their phones.
But that's different.
But that's different than running a project management software.
And we say all the time, "Oh, my kid's so tech savvy." You're right. It's just their
It's
phone.
their phone.
That's
I
interesting.
never really thought about that.
I didn't either.
To be honest,
I
with
didn't
you.
either. So they're not coming out with any of these skills that are kind
No.
of required.
No.
And are they being taught in any of this?
A lot of the trade schools that I work with are starting to teach that type of thing,
Okay.
or at least make them aware, right?
Yeah.
Make them aware that this is out there. You need to do a little research on this or that or the other thing. The more that the tech comes to the forefront, the more that the schools are saying, okay, we need to get on board with this because they need to know how to do this.
And I know that's not your job, but when you're having conversations with them, no, I'm serious. Like, do you talk to them about, okay, so like, let's be on time. Let's like,
Oh, yes.
because you've told us that before.
What
You've
to wear, how to
you've
posture.
shared with us that you try to help, you try to coach and help them.
Yes. Be on time. Like if you have a very important interview coming up, don't just Google it the morning of to see the directions. Okay, well, wait a minute. The direction says there's, every freeway. This is DFW, okay?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Every freeway to get where you're going is bright red. So now what do? Okay, you should have gotten the day before and driven up there
Yeah.
to see how long does it technically take.
Yeah.
Things like that. Do you have their phone number? So if you are flat tire on the side of I-30, can you call them and say, I have a flat tire. Let me change this tire and then I'll be there.
Be
Kind of.
prepared.
Be prepared.
Yeah.
Do you know what to wear?
Right.
Have you thought about that and not like the night before, the morning of?
Exactly.
I struggle with that with my kids now, though. Like just
Yeah.
trying to teach them some of these basic skills because they know everything. I don't know about yours, but my daughter knows everything.
Oh,
there
of
is to know about
course.
everything.
They're teenagers. They
Oh, my baby is in her 30s and she still
Knows everything.
Mom, you don't know what you're talking about.
Great.
I'm like, okay, you do you, boo, because
Right.
been there, done that. No.
Right. Right. Wow. Okay. So we want to bring awareness to trades. So that's
Right.
one of the things that
Yes.
we're doing with our golf tournament. So we're putting on the golf tournament and it's going to go all scholarships, high schools and trade schools within the area. Well, high school scholarships to trade schools. Because I don't think, trades have been pulled out of our high schools. We used to have shop class. We used to have just basic mechanics. We had cooking. I do think they put in some cooking back in because, HGTV made it cool. So now all the kids the Food Network made it cool. So now they want to do it. HGTV has kind of brought back some cool stuff within construction
Right.
with all these shows. So now it's like, oh, well, since it's cool and we need it, we're going to start doing a little bit more. But high schools don't promote it.
No, and I've noticed that they're asking, like the Career Institute that I work with Dallas ISD, they're asking these kids in like the 6th and 7th grade to decide what their future is supposed to be.
We have career days in 6. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm like, come on, folks. I'm on my 5th career and I'm an adult.
Exactly.
So you expect them to
The
know.
expectations are so unreasonable.
So we try to go in to, as early as they'll let us, to talk to them about why not construction.
Right. I've done that with my daughter's junior high. So we had career day and I went in there and talked about what I did. And if, they're looking at me like I have 3 eyes half of the time until I mentioned how much money I made. And then they were like, oh, well,
yeah,
that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
We can do that. And I'm like, well, hold on there, sit down for a minute. Yeah. You got to and I was saying, how much your business can make. You know, like if you have your own business in construction and on that aspect, what our sales were. And, they hear those numbers and all of a sudden it's like, oh, well, because their parents are like, well, yeah, plumbers don't make money.
Yeah.
Plumbers make a lot of money.
Yeah. But then comes the realization, though, that they have to be realistic in that your first 2 years, at least, are not going to be that number. You need to understand that you're building a career. It's not just a job. Yes, you can go make whatever at Amazon or what are they, up to $18 an hour at McDonald's or whatever.
Right.
That's great. If that's what you want to do, you do you. But they need to understand that for the first 2 years, 3 years, they're still learning.
Right.
By year 5, you could own your own business. Are you willing to put in that work?
Here's the difference. You go 4 years, sometimes 6 years of college.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have a job. You ain't learning. Well, you're learning, but you ain't making any money doing it, right?
No, you're going further
so
in debt.
you go get your 6-month certificate to go work with a plumber or an electrician. And while you're learning to build up to your own business, you're making a living without the debt of college.
Yep.
Exactly. So we tell people a lot of time, I joke around that say, by the time your friends graduate in 4 to 6 years, depending on how hard they want to go at it, they're now $80,000 in debt. In 5 years, you can be owning your own home.
Yeah.
There's a huge difference there.
But you gotta work like these kids.
Yeah, you've got to work. You've got to be willing to put in the time because a lot of people, they hear half of the conversation, right? So they hear about how much money you can make as a plumber.
Yes.
They don't realize that same plumber who's making that kind of money now did not make that kind of money for the first 5 years.
And worked his butt off to get there.
And he worked 10 hours a day. He worked overtime.
Yes.
In fact, we had a meeting yesterday with a new builder, and I love when Eduardo goes through, he was like, I had to go out at 10 o'clock at night and go service a home. He's talking through the early days of making those calls. And then Jasmine's like, and I'm taking calls at 12 o'clock at night.
As you're building a business.
Yeah. And they've obviously streamlined and done some things differently. So now that's not having to happen. But the point is that you have to do the grit work. You have got to understand that you're going to have to put in your time and do that before you get to that point. Earn your stripes, if you will.
Yes.
Yeah. It doesn't just, do you feel like with the younger generation, they feel like they are owed this grand salary when they come out? Kind of ish. A little bit.
A little bit. But I also think part of that is because they're never told what to expect, right? They see what's on TV or on social media, and that's what they live by. We need, as adults in the trade, to be educating these students as to what is it really like. So say Eduardo or Tio, they go through, and what we're trying to do is get them to go out into these trade schools with us.
Right.
So they can do it. This is a day in the life of. This is what it was really like the first 2 years. Right. This is what it's like now that I've put in the work. We want to give these trade students a true understanding of what it's like, a day in the life of a plumber, an electrician, an HVAC technician, a roofer, a framer.
Right. Well, and the gentleman that we hired from y'all, he came in and he worked in the warehouse, and he was willing to start from the very bottom, learn product, and now he is riding along basically an apprenticeship, learning HVAC now, because he's only been there since July.
Right.
But he was willing to put in that time.
Right.
And that's
having a little humbleness too, I think is really important.
Huge.
I think a lot of it, and I've done this with my kids, I worked my butt off. I had to work 2 jobs, go to college. I didn't have the traditional college fund, that
same.
Yeah, same.
and I didn't want my kids to have to come out of college with student debt and have to work another 2 jobs just to make it while they were figuring out what they were going to do with a degree that probably didn't really do them any good anyway. And so I've made it easy on them, right? I work so hard, so I want to be able to give them these things. And and I think, and I can see a difference between my first one when I didn't have, we didn't have a lot of money. And then as you got more money with the second and with my third one, it's like just completely different.
Yeah.
And it isn't like they get everything. They don't. It's just they don't have to do anything to earn you know what I mean? It's like I had to do cooking and laundry and like all that
we had
stuff.
chores.
Yes.
We didn't get our allowance. We got paid for what we did.
Yeah. Or no allowance.
Yeah.
You just did it.
Right.
Yeah. You do the dishes. Okay. Here's
you
your lunch money.
contribute.
Yep. Exactly. Yes.
Things like that. And that's a whole different mindset, but they talk about it a lot on social media, how those of us that grew up the way we didn't want our kids to have to grow up that way.
And we made it too easy.
Went it way over on the other side. Now we've got to bring it all back somewhere in the middle. But, at the same time, we talk about the students being realistic, right? But employers in general need to be realistic as well. Because, yes, you're competing against $18 at McDonald's. This person went to trade school. They spent 6 months or a year or whatever at a trade school learning a trade. You can't start them at $14 an hour and expect them to take that.
Right.
But here comes the weird balancing act. You both are in the business world, right? The weird balancing act is you have to prove that you value your employees and that you realize that they're not fast food employees, right? But at the same time, you've got a business to run. You've got to make some sort of profit in order to keep everybody paid. And you can't bill for this guy because he isn't licensed yet. He's still an apprentice, right?
Right.
So where's the balance between, okay, we want to value them, but we also can't go broke.
Right.
Yeah.
So there's the weird balancing act where the state and county run apprenticeship programs could actually help out if more people were aware of them. I don't think a lot of people even know about the resources that are out there.
And the grants. And
let's
all
talk about
let's
those.
dive
And again,
into
we're going to
that.
link this down in the comments so you have more information.
Yes, the state of Texas Workforce Commission, has their own apprenticeship department with very specific instructions on how you can start an apprenticeship program, how you get registered with the state, all of that. And then each county through the Texas Workforce Solutions has their own different grant programs. I know like Tarrant County, theirs is construction specific. And
what kind of paperwork are we talking about? Is this like you know what I'm saying?
I actually have not seen the paperwork. I can give you the contact information for Ms. Kelly, who does the Tarrant County
I'm
one.
just curious,
But if you have somebody in your office doing it, you're going to be able to bring somebody in and
for sure.
And what they do is they pay, right?
Yes, the grant in Tarrant County specifically pays for the first 12 weeks of their apprenticeship.
Which is huge.
Yes.
That is huge.
Because in 12 weeks, you know if this person's going to work out or not.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you're losing no money.
I've been trying to figure out how to get the trades, the actual people, to understand that there are resources out there to help you. And if you're not willing to hire entry level, you're always going to be shorthanded.
Yep.
If you're not willing to take a chance on someone who actually took a year, now some of these programs are 6 months to a year to learn the trade. So we know they're already interested in the trade.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not willing to hire entry level, if you always want to hire a journeyman, you're going to run out of people.
Right. Yeah.
Because we have a 38% gap in 5 years.
Yeah.
Exactly. And where are these kids? Okay, well, they need the apprenticeship. They need this. They need that.
We're not going to have anybody to teach them.
Where are they going to get the 5 years of experience if nobody will hire them?
Exactly.
So you run into this financial responsibilities. You've got a company that you have to keep afloat, right? But yet you also are going to run out of journeymen and masters if you don't find a way to hire the entry level people. So where's the balance?
Right.
How do you balance? And that's something where I'm like, okay, I can tell people what's out there, but
right. Is this only in Tarrant County?
The specific grant, that one for the 12 weeks is Tarrant County. Anybody whose business is in Tarrant County can can apply.
Okay.
The information that I sent you is Texas in general. The Texas Workforce Commission has their own apprenticeship program. Like you said, you're going to link the flyer
Yes.
that has the steps on how to get it started.
Okay.
But they have their own statewide apprenticeship program as well.
So
That's awesome. And so they'll actually pay for you to hire somebody in construction to get the experience for the first 12 weeks.
That's the grant in Tarrant
In
County.
Tarrant County.
Each county is different.
Each county. Okay. So we just have to
But
live
I
in the
don't
county.
know if every employer knows that. I don't know. If,
I don't think so.
I don't think they understand that either.
I didn't know that. I mean, I didn't know that was available.
Right. Not until I talk to you.
Are you listening to my stomach right now?
No.
Yeah, I know. It's talking.
She skipped lunch apparently.
Well, she has to eat at a very specific time, so her body is trained.
Yeah.
Like literally.
And she wouldn't let me pull out my food.
I would not let her pull out her lunch
'Cause it's
on
rude.
podcast because I'm like, you can't eat in front of me and Phyllis.
Why?
We're all sitting here having
Why? Because
lunch.
we haven't eaten either.
I guess that's true. I'm so rude. Anyway, sorry, I digress.
You don't mean it. It's
I just wondered if the mic picked up on it. Like, grrr,
Oh,
like
that's what you have editors for, right?
yes, and they're
That's very
awesome.
true.
So when we make a fool of ourselves, you can edit it all out.
Oh, they're like magical. Okay, so what trends or challenges are you seeing as you gather talent for hire? Besides soft skills, that's the biggest thing.
Driver's license.
Oh, is it? Okay.
I believe it.
If the soft skills are first, which they are,
Yeah.
Texas, I'm not originally from Texas, which you guys know, but I don't know if the audience does. I'm not originally from Texas. So when I got here as fast as I could, I realized that the public transit system is horrible. Horrible.
We don't have one.
Yeah, I know. It's non-existent.
So you then have all these students who just never got their driver's license. I'm like, what do you mean? I mean, I've got people who are 18, 19, 20 Ubering back and forth to school every day.
Wow.
So crazy to me.
They don't care.
I was standing in line 20 minutes before that DMV opened on my 16th birthday. Going,
Oh, I was trying to find a way to lie.
you know?
Yes.
But they
My
don't
son
these
was
days.
19 before he got his, my middle one.
Yeah.
He would not. He just had no interest
No
in it.
desire.
But it's a huge
whatsoever.
issue because how are you going to get to
That's
and from?
right.
Yeah, that's
Well, and what they don't understand, and this is what I learned, if they get it right away, their insurance will go down quicker, the cost of it, because it has the
Oh.
longevity of how
Yes.
long you've had your driver's license.
Yes.
Oh. I didn't
So if you have it from the time you're 16 versus the time you're 20, you have 4 years now showing driving experience.
Mhm.
It
That
will go
makes
down
sense.
sooner. Yeah.
that makes total sense.
So my daughter, she's getting hers. I know.
Yeah.
yeah, you're like,
I'm
you don't
making
have
that
a
mistake
choice.
again. Yep.
But they can't get to the job sites. So
Right.
even if they're not in a trade that requires it, or for example, the plumber, electrical, HVAC, they have to drive a company truck.
Yeah.
But they don't have their driver's license. So how am I supposed to get you employed
Yeah.
with a company that you have to drive a company
or
truck?
have reliable transportation to and from the job.
Yeah, exactly. Because if not, you're going to be Ubering all over. Because if you ever look at the map of where the new housing developments are coming out, and I don't care which builder you're working with, they're all way out here.
Yep.
They are not straight through the middle.
Nope.
Right.
So transportation and driver's licenses are huge.
And the cost to Uber
Is
It's
to and from the
expensive.
job, you wouldn't
It's
be
a tank
able
of gas.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
need one trip.
You'd be paying to work.
One trip.
You'd be paying to work.
You are.
You are.
Yeah.
You are. It's awful. And so then you get these real huge limitations of how do they get to work? I'm like, okay.
So go get your driver's license.
Yes, you need
And work on your
driver's
soft
license.
skills.
Work on your soft
Please.
skills.
I don't think
And-
our kids know what the soft skills are, though. I think that is something that
Okay, I'll break it down real simple. Have some manners.
That's like
I know.
life 101.
yes.
No, but seriously, if you boil down soft skills, because that's a term that we all use, emotional intelligence, blah, blah, blah.
Mhm.
Have some manners.
Yeah.
Do what you say you're going to do when you say you're going to do it. Be where you're supposed to be when you're supposed to be there. Stay off your phone if you're getting paid by your job. Don't cuss people out. Don't have an attitude.
Okay, so they
I mean,
had to
this
do
is
this in high
manners.
school,
Yeah.
right? So this is something that, like, you're not allowed to be on your phone. You have to be there when you're I mean,
Yeah.
this is stuff that they should have learned, honestly, in high school.
But did they? Just
No.
this year is when they took cell phones out of school.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
And
true.
they're bringing books back in. They're like
Yeah.
changing a lot of stuff
Which is
around.
Or look
great.
at college.
So the last
the best
5
thing they could have
years-
done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at the way colleges are run. If you show up for class, you show up for class.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a good point.
You know, and we've gotten very, and the worst part about it to me is that the people that they don't understand why 20 minutes late every day is a bad thing. It's not that they're being difficult. They honestly don't understand.
Wow.
Well,
I know.
I'm getting my work done. Yeah, my work gets done. I don't see what it matters if I left 20 minutes early. Okay.
Yeah, it's the cultural aspect. They're missing that cultural
Right.
aspect.
They are.
Yeah.
And whose fault is that?
Yeah.
We raised them.
That's
Yeah.
true.
So
Yeah.
we like to pick on the younger generation all the time, but we raised them.
True.
So you're seeing soft skills are
skills,
huge.
driver's
license.
How does the hiring process currently look from the trade employer's perspective? Same?
Difficult. Long,
Yeah, it's
crazy.
yeah, kind of a beating.
It is a beating. It's beating for the candidates. It's a beating for you guys as employers. It is.
Yeah.
You just hired 2 of my people. So yeah, it's kind of a beating. And part of that, I think, is there's a huge disconnect, maybe be the right word, where you emailed someone, you left them you tried to leave them a voicemail, but their voicemail's not set up, or you're not in their contact list, so they're going straight to voicemail that's not there, or they're not checking, or your email goes to spam. So there's huge disconnect with. I have to tell all my students, I don't care if you know if your phone is set up this way, you need to fix it now.
Or check your email.
Check your email. Look through your junk mail.
Yes.
your email.
Yes. Because that is how employers are trying to contact you is through your email. Typically starts with an email.
Mm-hmm.
And then is followed up with a phone call. And we're not going to do it.
How about
2 or 3
have
times.
these kids ask somebody and not be afraid to ask? Don't be afraid to ask for help. What do I need to do?
But
if
who
they
are
haven't been,
asking for help.
they're mentors.
Yeah, but some of them don't have it. Like my
No,
daughter,
I
well, like
know.
she asks for help, she goes to her peers. Like her peers know anything, right?
Right.
So that's
I guess
the
that's
problem.
true.
I have these conversations when I'm in the schools. I have these conversations with them, and they all look at me and go, "Oh, Miss Phyllis, you don't know what you're talking about." Well, okay, because guess what? Very few employers are going to text you.
Yeah, they're not.
They're just not.
Mm-mm.
And then it's a matter of, well, I didn't know who that was, so I didn't answer it.
If you
are looking for a job,
you answer every single call.
every call, you can always hang up on a salesperson or a bill collector. Okay, seriously, but you have to
Don't
answer
hang
the
up
phone.
on a salesperson. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I know what you mean.
But that's why I don't want to deal with the spam calls. Just hang up.
Yeah.
You don't have to.
Or
How bad do you want a job?
I didn't recognize that number. I said, how about because their corporate HR is in, Michigan
Right.
Yeah.
or Florida?
Yep.
Mhm.
I know you applied for a job in, Arlington.
But they all don't, or an 800 number. They
Yes.
don't show up.
Exactly. So answer your phone.
Oh,
Answer
yeah.
your phone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy stuff like that. And be on time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's huge.
It's huge. But that's the normal stuff. Like you guys put an ad. You two don't anymore because you work with me. But most employers, you put an ad on Indeed or LinkedIn or something like that, and it just goes out there
Yeah.
into cyberspace, right?
Right.
And you get 300 applications that may or may not.
Yep.
Well, someone has to sort through them all.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's
Or-
the exhausting part.
You have an ATS system do it for you and you miss out on the best candidates
Right.
Mm-hmm.
because they may not have all the keywords, but they're exactly what you're looking for. So that's where we encourage our employers, put your jobs on our Jobs to Build, and it's jobs, JOBSTO, build.com. Put your jobs on Jobs to Build. They're going to notify whoever is in that area. So like you guys I would automatically get notified that
We posted
JNS
something.
posted a new job.
Yeah.
Okay, in my area. I already have spoken to these people. I know what they're like. I know what you're looking for because we've had a conversation.
Yeah.
So I will then say, hey, this person just applied online for your job. Here's his resume. Here's her bio. Here's whatever. You need to talk to her at least.
Yeah.
Instead of going through 200 resumes, you went through 6.
Mm-hmm.
So
And it was $191. I was like, oh my gosh, I did not have time to do this.
Yeah.
And then she sent them over to me, and I was like, oh, thank you, Jesus. I don't have to go through all of them because it's exhausting. I don't have time.
Yeah.
You don't. And
No.
part of what we offer as part of that Jobs to Build platform is we pre-screen them for you. If there are specific things that they have to have, there's things we'd like them to do this, we'd like them to do that, but they need to have this. I already know which ones have that and which ones don't. So you could get 20 people, 30 people, whatever, apply even through Jobs to Build, but I will handpick the ones that I think will work for you and send them to you personally.
Right.
Now you have the option to go through and just look at everybody that it says matches.
Mm-hmm.
But why?
Yeah.
Why?
Right.
Can we touch real quick on the reality of the market right now? And it won't always be like this, but right now it's really tough. And there are a lot of some tiny companies going out of business.
Right.
A lot of businesses not hiring
Or laying off.
Or laying off. So for us as a company coming into a job fair, we don't want to give false hope. But I would say to all of those students coming out, like, hang in there because the market will turn around. It will correct. We will have openings.
How long does it take them to find a job from like beginning to end? Like, what is the time frame right now?
That it really does depend on the candidate.
Okay.
Yeah.
The more what I call barriers that you have, the longer it's going to take, of course, because most people are going to say, I don't want to deal with all this stuff. And they just pick the first candidate, right? Or you come to a job fair, and I've seen it at all the schools I've been at. And you have this one guy that just is like, oh my God, he shows up in a sport coat, or he shows up with there's something about him or her that just stands out.
Their eagerness.
They're eager, their knowledge, the way they spoke to you, the way they, their manners, the way they shook your hand, things like that. It all comes.
Eye contact.
I can't
believe how hard that is.
How about this real quick? One of your guys, he did a follow-up email to me.
Exactly.
Only one, but that makes a huge difference. Like a thank you for your time. Well, he stuck out in my head. And when we have something available, I would probably reach out to him first or talk to you about him.
Yes.
Or her, but it was a him in this
Because that's how we used to do things.
Well, yeah.
Yes.
That's what we
You
have to
wrote
do.
a thank you
You
note.
always wrote a thank you note. I
Yes.
still tell my candidates to write a
Yes.
thank you note.
Yes.
Yep.
It goes so far.
So if you are the quote unquote perfect candidate, you can usually, depending on the school, be working before you graduate, right? But if you have a few challenges
Which happens.
it happens all the time. Some people are so concentrated on school that they don't want to start working in the field before because they're afraid. Like some of my night students, they can work during the day, but the third time the company makes them late for school,
Right.
because they're on a job site somewhere, they're like, my school is more important. Which it is. And I tell all my students that. If you have a company that tells you to quit school because you don't need it, you
red
don't
flag.
need them.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
100%.
I kind of, that's another thing with the employers though. You knew when you hired them that they had to be at a certain location at a certain time. If you couldn't work with that, then you should not have hired them.
Right.
Agreed.
Right.
So how flexible are my employers and what kind of barriers are we looking at? That's kind of where the length of time from graduation to employment.
Okay.
And what time of year?
Right.
How many people are hiring HVAC techs in November and December?
Yeah.
What time of year did you graduate?
Right.
It's true.
So we have a new segment called Concrete Confessions. So we have people write in and tell us something that's going on, and we kind of talk about it for a few minutes and see how we're going to help them, or we're in utter shock, or we're laughing. It's one or the other.
Yeah.
So I don't know what this one
horrified.
is. Okay. Oh, this is actually a good one. Hi, I'm trying to make a career change from an office type job to construction. Before this, I've had lots of experience in manual labor jobs, fishing, processing plants, tire tech, working on roofs, but no experience in construction. Is a laborer the bottom of the totem pole? Do I have to start here? How do I get hired on without experience? What's the easiest way to move up without furthering my education? What's the difference between union work and not? And what's the best field of construction to get into with the focus of making my body last long term? I'm not afraid of physical work, but I'm only 22 and my back hurts. I'm trying to preserve my body as long as I can. That's a lot of questions. So
I know.
Let's start
labor at the bottom of the totem pole. Do I have to start there?
No.
But if he has no other experience, he has manual labor. He did. Yeah, he said manual labor, tire tech, working on roofs. So he had some experience.
He has experience. Okay. So why not go towards a roofing company? You can do appraisals. You can work with the insurance claims. Every roofing company that I know of right now is looking for salespeople.
And by the way, there are so many roofing companies.
Yeah, but what about, is it easy to move up without furthering his education?
That depends on the company, truthfully.
You have to do some certifications, I would think, right?
Yeah, you need you'll have to do, state certifications to study for what is or isn't up to code in your state or your county or whatever. Okay. Yeah, so there's some sort of classwork, but as far as furthering your education, a lot of that stuff can be done online. So it's not like he has to actually go to school, if that makes sense.
Okay.
And personally, I wouldn't want to work for a company that didn't offer some sort of continuing education program.
Right.
Because technology changes. You've got to keep up with the technology.
Yes.
So you will have to continue learning, but not necessarily formal education.
Okay, so how is he going to get hired? How does he get hired on? Can they come to you?
Yes.
So they can come to you. So somebody who wants to change your career into residential construction, specifically residential versus commercial, can come to you and give you the resume, and you would work with them and tell them what they would need.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
And you've got 1 million in your inbox, right? Like, how many do you have?
Candidates or employers?
Candidates. I asked that for a reason.
I signed up just, September. I think I signed up almost 220 new candidates that are looking for work.
And what are you noticing older people coming in because of some of the layoffs we've had, or is it still kids coming out of trade schools?
It's about 50-50 even, because now coming out of the trade schools, we have, especially the shorter programs, have now people who have, I worked in office management or whatever, and I got laid off, or my job went away, or whatever. So I decided I'm tired of job hopping with that. And so they went to a trade school. So they're in their 30s.
Okay.
I asked that because my point is there's a lot. There's a lot.
A lot of people looking for jobs.
So stand out. Like, be on time.
You do have to stand out.
Eye contact. Follow up.
Yep.
Try hard.
Yeah. Like one of our mentees really 9 months to get a job.
Yeah.
And she did an internship.
Mm-hmm.
You don't get paid much on an internship. And then she had to go through some grueling processes to get hired. And it takes a while, and you do have to stand out.
Yeah.
100%.
You do.
Because even if we find employers that are willing to hire entry level, because even if they have a degree in project management, which I've dealt with some of the folks that you've sent me from Calling College, even if they have a degree in project management, they don't have any experience.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So you still have to find employers that are willing to hire with experience. That they're few and far between.
Mm-hmm.
And so what makes you as a candidate for this, I've got 40 people looking for an entry-level job.
Mm-hmm.
What makes you better than the other 39?
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
And until you find your little
niche there.
Yep. I used to teach that when I worked at a trade school. For example, I had a gentleman who wasn't very good with computers, right?
Mm-hmm.
But he desperately wanted to be a TIG welder. His resume was super simple because he's not real great with computers. So what he did was he took 2 razor blades, like old school razor blades, TIG welded them together at the skinny part, took an engraver and engraved his name and phone number on them.
Oh, brilliant.
And flipped it to his resume. Do you think that didn't stand out?
Yep.
Heck yeah.
How do you make yourself
stand out
against the other 39 people in the room that are looking for the same job you're in?
Get
That's
creative.
A great idea.
That's awesome.
Well, we're going to have to wrap it up here. I hate to I want to keep talking about, we're going to highlight everything down in the comments. We're going to link all this so that you can have, especially for trades that are looking to hire, or students who, or, you're looking for a job. Yep. So we'll have all that there. And then Phyllis, where can they get a hold of you?
You can actually email me at phyllis.werner at buildingtf.org.
As WERNER.
Yes. PHYLLIS. You'd be shocked how many spellings I've seen of it.
Yes.
But .Werner, WERNER. at buildingtf.org.
And we can include that.
Yep, we can include that as well.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming on. We're going to close out. Xanica has a lovely quote that I really,
Yes.
she read it to me earlier, and I absolutely love this quote. So
Yes. Empowering someone with a job is more than employment. It's restoring somebody's dignity, purpose, and hope. When we invest in the trades, we don't just build careers, we build communities that last.
Love it.
So invest in your trades.
Invest in your trades.
Please.
We're also going to link our golf
Participate.
tournament in the. We're going to
Beef
put that
up
in
our
there
labor
too.
because even though I'm not close to retirement, I want a job in 5 years and 10
Yeah,
years. And
exactly.
anyone else that wants to come to our lovely industry and build more homes for families.
Yes.
Like I don't,
And our hiring events, you do not actually have to have a current opening to attend our hiring events. It is a way for you to get out there and get your name out there so that when they do graduate from the trade school, they go, I want to work for so-and-so. Can you get me a job there?
They have an
They're
idea.
asking for
Okay.
your company specifically.
Okay.
Get your name out there. Show up. Encourage the students. Practice interviews.
Yeah.
These guys don't get to practice much. So
Right.
every employer that shows up, you may find the one gem that you're like, oh, I'll make a spot for this one. I've had that happen. I'm not hiring. Oh, no, wait a minute. I'll make a spot for that one.
Yeah. That's a good point.
So
Yeah.
we still need that people to participate.
In that
I try to keep them relatively short, like 10 to 2, something like that.
Right.
They're not an all-day event.
Yeah.
So participate, please.
Participate. Join us. I'm there.
Yes, she's at all of them. Poor thing. I drag her along to everything.
I am passionate about this. It's important, and
The trades are a big deal.
They are, and I just come join me, and we'll chat in the interim if you get bored. I don't know.
Well, thank you again, Phyllis, for coming.
Thank
We
you,
really
Phyllis.
appreciate you
You're
for your
welcome.
second trip around the sun here with us.
Yes, thank you
That's
so
very
much.
grateful.
Absolutely. Thank you for giving us a chance to get our information out there.
Yes.
That's wonderful. Build Hers Club is a production by Monarch Media Hub.
Recorded and edited by MZStudios and executive produced by the amazing Abbigail Thompson.
Hosted by me, Teresa Williams.
And me, Xanica Scusa. If you have a topic you want us to discuss, message us on Instagram at BuildHERS Club.
Or email us at hello@monarchmediahub.com. That's HELLO@monarchmediahub.com.
And as always, when commenting, please use grace. We're here to build each other up.